In politics, they call this tight as a tick. Take a look at these results last night in Ohio's 12th district. This is a special election for the House of Representatives to replace a retiring Republican representative. And here we have Troy Balderson at 50.2%, Danny O'Connor at 49.3%. That is officially too close to call. The reason is there's the difference there of 1,754 votes. That is very, very tight. So what happens next? Ultimately, the networks and the Associated Press and others are not going to call this race. There's going to be a series of procedures that take place now, including looking at those provisional ballots. And if you remember that difference, just over 1,000 votes, provisional ballots, there's more than 3,400 provisional ballots that we believe are still to be counted over the next 10 days. So that could swing things one way or the other. The vote won't be certified ultimately until August the 24th. And if the candidates are still within 0.5% of each other, rules in Ohio require a mandatory recount, and all of that goes to waste, really, by November, when these two candidates are going to run against each other again in the general election. So whoever wins here, and Republicans are already claiming victory because they're ahead a little bit in the vote count, whoever wins here ultimately is going to have to run against the same guy in the fall in just a couple of months' time. So what are the takeaways here politically? This is a district that Donald Trump won overwhelmingly. It's a district that Republicans have carried for decades. John Kasich used to represent this particular district in Ohio. There are about 70 districts, according to Politico, nationwide that have a less overwhelming Republican majority. This is a huge Republican district. There are about 70 districts, according to Politico, that have less Republican dominance in them. That means that despite the massive spending that Republicans made here, more than $3 million spent by Republicans on this race, ultimately they're going to have to defend a lot of districts that are even worse for them politically than this one. If this one is as tight as a tick, what does that tell you about the fall? That's the downside for the Republicans. The downside for the Democrats here is that this is another election that if it goes the way it looks like it's trending, they haven't won. So ultimately, Democrats are going to have to put up or shut up here at some point and start winning some of these Republican seats if they're going to take over the House of Representatives in the fall. They haven't done it here yet, depending on all those conditions that we just laid out. But ultimately, they're looking at a lot of other districts in the fall and saying, hey, we might be able to take some of these guys.